Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 5, I think, of Inside the Mountain Thursdays. Quick disclaimer. If you don't want to hear me talk for about 30, 40 minutes, you can just click off. We don't have any guests in town, unfortunately. I tried to get one videoed with Ryan and Michael, but let's just say that is not content that will ever see the light of day. One of the worst things I think I've ever been a part of, like creatively. No offense to these fellas. We'll probably get them on eventually at some point individually. But, I mean, Jesus Christ. We talked about, I think, nothing for probably about 40 minutes. And when I mean nothing, I mean actually nothing. So, a little improvised setup here. We got myself. Pebbles is over there. We got the ping pong wall. Got a little Inside the Month Thursdays. And there's a hanger right here. I didn't know that until I started filming. So, I put up a little Josh Giddey jersey in honor of the Thunder about to lose the series. But what we're going to do is we're going to run through a little extra questions that are left over from the last time Luke was on. We didn't really get to them, and most of them are coming in from Luke Carter. So, shout out Luke Carter, and once again, it's just going to be me yapping. So, if you don't hear me yap, I got nothing for you. Okay, let's find these questions. Here we go. So, who do I have winning the Nuggets and Timberwolves, which is kind of awkward because it's about to be over. I said this with the podcast with Jason and Ian. I'll just kind of reiterate it for how I feel now. It's about to be Game 7, so I will say this again. Anyway, I said before the series started, I said it is literally just going to depend on how Rudy Gobert plays. If he can switch and play up top, they are going to win. If he can't, they're going to lose. And I'm not going to simplify it as much as that, but I think was pretty close, guests. I think I was pretty close. And I still don't think it's all his fault if they're going to lose this. But, I mean, if you watch it, he's not good. You can't convince me otherwise he's not good. But I stand by that. I say if he can play good, they win Game 7. If he can't, they lose. Because it's basically up to him. Like, Anthony Edwards is going to get his 40. He's going to get his 30. That's, like, people are going to take them and be like, oh, my God, why Anthony Edwards is leading that team? And that's a quick tangent about basketball and anything. The way I view, like, stars and, like, teams is I expect the star to do good in Game 7. So, me saying, like, it's up to Anthony Edwards to win them the game, duh. Like, of course, it's up to him to win the game. If he has 10 points, they're going to lose. But I'm not expecting him to have 10 points. I'm expecting him to be good. So I'm expecting him to drop, like, 30, 40. And Cat, like, same thing. I'm expecting them to be good because they are the stars. Same thing with Jamal Murray. Same thing with Jokic. So I'm expecting – when it comes to me predicting a series or predicting an NFL game or anything, it's the role players and the Sigmas, if you will, that would win. So that would help them win. So if Rudy Gobert stinks, they lose. If he can do what he did in Game 6 where they blew them out by 43, I think was the final number, and Rudy Gobert was actually playing defense and they were actually getting on runs, then they win the game easy. But if it's a game like a Game 5 where Jokic is literally just destroying Rudy Gobert down low and they're ISOing Rudy Gobert one-on-one and he can't do anything, then he defeats the purpose of having two big men because he can't stretch the floor. He has no bag. He's just a defender, which is fine if he can do that, which we don't know because he's Rudy Gobert and we have no idea if he's ever going to actually be good in the playoffs. But I think if he does what he did last night, this is being filmed on Friday, then they have a chance. But I'll say this. I'm not going to make a prediction right now because I will probably make one later in the video because I don't even know. Like, a part of me wants to be like, Nuggets are the Nuggets. They're at home, Game 7, defending champions. They can't lose that. But they also just came off of a 43-point loss where they had there was never a doubt from the beginning. I think the Nuggets scored like the first 9, and then the Timberwolves did not let them within 5-10 points after that. So it's like you can't just dismiss that and be like, oh, they can't beat them. But they can, and they could, and they might. I'm gonna go Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves winning. I think Rudy Gobert is not. I'm not saying figured out Jokic. Please don't take that the wrong way. But I think they know what they want to do now. They know what the Nuggets want to do. They want to bully Rudy Gobert, and if you can somehow negate that a little bit, you have a better chance of winning. But then again, Jokic could just drop 50, and all this is for nothing. Final question: Minnesota Timberwolves are winning this series because of Rudy Gobert. Not actually. Okay, so I had to cut. The computer may or may not was whatever. It was about to die. Fuck. Okay. Next question coming in from Luke Carter. It was basically LeBron or Jordan. I'll go on this little tangent real quick, but it's going to be a different tangent because I've answered the question so many times. Obviously, I have LeBron. But what he said in the question, which intrigued me, is why I'm answering it, is because he was talking about, like, putting someone in a different era. And it's like, it's unfair that, like, of course, Jordan wasn't going to shoot as many threes, da-da-da. It's not so much that, like, the era itself wasn't, like, better, because obviously no one's going to say that Jordan's era was better than LeBron's era, just because, like, the game wasn't as evolved, like, the technology, like, AAU wasn't, all that kind of stuff, like, college. So I understand when people are like, the eras were different. Whenever I bring this up, I brought this up with Jason and Jake about Bill Russell. It's like this notion that, like, great players are going to be able to, like, rise up no matter what era they're in. And I think to some extent, yes. Like, obviously, all jokes aside, I think Michael Jordan would be able to play in the days NBA. Like, I'm not stupid. Like, obviously, he'd be able to play. And obviously, he'd be a great player, da-da-da. But players, like, in the 60s and 70s just would not be able to compete today. Like, and that's just because they were just not to the same level. Like, even if Bill Russell was born tomorrow, he's not making the NBA, dude. Jason, they were like, he's going to make the NBA. He's just not. Because for one, he's just not athletic enough in today's NBA. Back in the 60s, yes, athletic enough, athletic freak relative to the time. Yes, he's going to be able to have the skills. No, he's not. I take that back. He's just going to be ass. And I refuse to believe that Bill Russell in today's NBA would be good. I can't. You can't get it to me. Like, oh, and my cat Pebbles there's multiple cats outside, so Pebbles is losing her mind over there. 1 second. But back to my thing. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. Back to my thing. Like, I refuse to believe that anybody in the 60s, 70s, and early, maybe, like, once Magic Johnson got in the NBA, then you can convince me. But anyone before him, you're not convincing me they're playing in the NBA. Like, Kareem, yes. Wilt Chamberlain, yes. Bill Russell, no. I don't care about his rings. I don't. 6 rings. Okay, cool. There was like 8 NBA teams. Like, if LeBron played in the 8 NBA team NBA, he's winning every year. Like, I'm sick of this era. Oh my, you got it. No, I don't. Like, I guess if we're talking about, like, actual overall greatness, then you can compare the eras. But if we're talking about one-on-one, who do I want to play basketball? I'm not picking Bill Russell ever. Ever. Give me Daniel Gafford over Bill Russell. Give him to me. You cannot convince me Bill Russell was good at basketball in today's NBA. Sure, in the 50s and 40s, whenever the fuck he played, he was a beast. Sure, I guess. But, like, now, like, dude, come on. Like, let's get, Granddad, put down your BlackBerry. Granddad, put down your flip phone. It's time to get an Apple iPhone, okay? It's time to move on. The past is the past. Bill Russell, Bob Cousy, Elgin Baylor, bums. Not making a high school roster. Maybe JV. No, they're, like, tall. Not making it past Maryland College, Texas Tech College. They're not going to the league. Maybe France. But you can't convince me otherwise, okay? Stop asking me. I'm done. I'm done with basketball. That's enough of that. That's enough of that nonsense. So you can scold me in the comments. Bill Russell was ass. All of them were ass. And they weren't ass in their time, but now they'd be ass. I don't care. Okay, the next one is, how do I think about how do y'all, well, it's just me, how do you think the Houston Texans will do this year? I got Stroud, quarterback, Diggs, I know, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I think they'll do good. I'm starting to see a trend with good young teams, and it just makes me hate NFL Twitter and social media so much. It's like this is how it's gonna go. It's gonna go like this. I promise you, it's gonna go exactly like this. Everyone likes CJ Stroud right now because he's young and he hasn't done anything. He's young. He's cool. He's, like, good at football. Whatever. He has not won anything yet. So everyone's like, oh, the Texans, cool. The moment they start to do good, hate is going to just start. There's one day, randomly, people are going to start hating the Texans. It happens with every single young superstar in any sport. The Thunder, not being biased. Before this year, nobody talked shit about Shea and the Thunder because they didn't give a fuck because they weren't good. They were not winning. As soon as they start winning and doing good and beating their teams, Shea's a free throw merchant, which he isn't. We're not even getting on that topic. He isn't. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes. As soon as he got leaked, oh my God, this guy's really good. He's like, whatever. As soon as he starts winning, hate him. It's just people just don't like winners. And I'm guilty of it. I don't like Patrick Mahomes, but I'm just saying that wasn't your question. I'm gonna answer your question. I'm just saying, give it maybe 1 or 2 years, and everyone's gonna hate the Texans and CJ Stroud. I'm telling you. Same thing with any kind of streamer. Like, give it a year. Sketch is gonna be the most hated streamer because he's gonna get annoying. I'm telling you. I don't hate him. I have nothing. Like, he's a good streamer, but I promise you, the mainstream in like a year or a year and a half is gonna get sick of it. Same thing they did with Ninja, and they're gonna come. It's a full circle. They start it's like the baby. They start liking you, they get annoyed of you, they start hating on you, and then they come full circle because they're like, oh yeah, this guy isn't that bad. Happens with everybody, every celebrity ever, Free Drake, free P Diddy. So those were the two questions coming in, or three questions coming in from Luke Carter. I have a couple from Carl. Shout out Carl Hanovic. Basically, just do you think dating in college is worth it? And then he said, if you find someone that is great but doesn't live where you live, should you stay with them even if it's long distance? I'll answer those questions separately. So do I think dating in college is worth it? 110% yes. I think there's this narrative in our society. Let me get deep real quick with you fellas. I think there's this narrative in our society that like college is supposed to be like years where you can just fuck off and be a loser, which I mean, you can. Like, I mean, I am not in any way saying that I have my life together at all or that I am perfect at all. That is not what I'm saying, because nobody in college, or me especially, is not like that. But I think people use college as like an excuse to just be an idiot. And there are times where you want to be an idiot. Like, yes, I've been hammered at bars so many, like, it's you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, be an idiot, have fun, like, yes. But this also is not just a time to just fuck around and just kind of figure it out later on. Like, this is like for most people, this is the first time you are like on your own, like by yourself. Like, yeah, you're probably getting some financial support. Me, luckily, I get financial support, but like, you are by yourself. You have to get groceries for yourself. You have to cook for yourself, have to clean, dishes, school, friendships, relationships, all that stuff. And this is the first time in your life that you are taking responsibility for yourself, for your life. This isn't like somebody hovering over you, like your parents, making sure all that stuff. That's not how this works anymore. So this is you being an adult pretty much. So this like notion of like, I'm in college, I'm not going to date anybody. Why would I date somebody? I kind of see it as like the same thing as, oh, I'm in college, I'm not going to care. Now, I'm also not saying you have to date in college. Like, if you're that type of person that just like wants to focus on your like yourself and your grades and all that kind of stuff, and you don't think a relationship is going to help you with that, I completely understand that. But I also don't understand the people that are like, oh, I'm not going to date because I just want to go to bars and meet all these random girls, because that's not healthy for you. Like, we are the only generation that has ever had that mindset ever. Like, that's why people's grandparents, 95% of people's grandparents are together since they're like 20s, early 20s, middle 20s, late 20s. It's hard to find someone that's older than like 60 or 70 that's found somebody past their college days. Because the thing that I think is why college relationships are so important is because I saw this on I think it may have been Modern Wisdom. Anyway, it's like the idea of building with somebody is more appealing than whenever you already have built something. So I think for me, the reason I am in a relationship in college is because I want to build something with someone, not like a business or not like like more of like building myself with somebody else, I guess, because it's just, we're not meant to be alone. Like, we're not meant to be by ourselves. And we're also not meant to just, not even like hookup culture, but we're not just meant to use people and like do that kind of stuff. Like, that's not what we're meant to be. And I think our generation has kind of made that so acceptable that it's like weird if you're in a good relationship, or it's weird if you don't like the hookup culture, or it's weird if you're trying to improve yourself in that aspect. Like, that's weird. Like, if somebody's like a virgin past college, that's weird to people. That's like, what the fuck, you're a loser. And it's never been like that before, ever. Like, most people, like, before us, like, not even our parents, probably before our parents. Like, our parents probably not started it, but, like, that's the generation where they kind of started, like, not doing that. But, like, most people, it's like, you lose their virginity to the person you want to marry. Like, that's the person you are going to marry. Like, whenever you meet them in college, whatever. And you don't look for other things. You don't look for other people that are better. You don't find other things that are better. You find a person and you build with them. And that's what I think is wrong, not wrong, but I think that's like what's lost in dating now, is just with social media and like dating apps and all that kind of stuff. There's always somebody else that you want to look at. Or there's in like your mind, there's always someone better. For audio listeners, I put a quote. It's like there's always someone better for you. When in reality, it's like you could find the most perfect, beautiful girl ever, and you're still going to find a flaw in them. That's just human nature. Like, that's just how life works. So I think this notion of like, I'm not going to date because I'm waiting for the one is like, you're never going to be able to find the one unless you go out and look for the one. The one isn't just going to fall in your lap. The one isn't just going to like be perfect all the time, every single day, every time, everything is perfect. That's not how that works. You build with the one. You don't find the one perfectly perfect for you. You find a girl that you love and you really care about, and then you build with each other. So I do think it is very important. But again, it's going to be kind of contradicting. I don't hate or judge people that don't date in college. Like, if you're focusing on yourself and you're just not ready for that commitment, that's 100% fine. I would rather someone not be ready for the commitment and just be by themselves and not, just be a single guy or be a single or whatever. That's totally fine. Like, I would much rather that. I just don't like this idea of like, either you have to be a fuckboy and hook up with people or you have to be in a relationship. And if you're not one of those two, it's like, no, it's just do whatever makes you happy. And I think a lot of people are not in relationships because of this waiting for the perfect person or waiting for the one, something like that. Okay, I went on that one too long, but that's going on. I think it's definitely important. I think you should definitely, if you're against it, I think you should definitely reconsider and think about how good it could be for you if you meet someone that's really. Also, I think it's important to find the right person. Like, people get in relationships that they don't want to be in, and then they think relationships are bad. No, you just didn't find the right person for you. So I also would say don't give up on the first time. Like, if you find someone and they break your heart, whatever, dude, get over it. Everyone has their heart broken. Don't then go and hate girls or go and hate relationships and be like, oh, this is stupid because you got your heart broken. Dude, everybody gets their heart broken. You got to move on from it, and you got to just accept that that's how life works. Sometimes people are going to hurt you, all that kind of stuff, but never just accept that, oh, well, I'm never going to find love because I got heartbroken in high school once. That's not how it works, man. You got to just keep putting yourself out there, and eventually you're going to find someone that is great to you and great for you. That's my advice for that. Second one is, if you find someone that is great for you but doesn't live where you live, should you stay with them? Same thing. It goes back to, it depends on how, like, if you see a future with them. Like, if you're dating someone and it just like isn't really working out and you're like, man, like, I really like this person, but it's just not, like, I don't see a future. The moment you don't see a future with someone, pack it up, son, because then you're doing it for nothing. If you're in a relationship, you don't see a future with them, get out immediately. Not actually immediately, but like, you got to rethink it. So I think if you're dating for a while and it's like she has to move away for school or you have to move away for a job or whatever, I think it's definitely a conversation. I don't think it's definitely just like a thing you do randomly. I think you bring that up with your partner. I think you'd be like, hey, I have to move or you have to move. And if y'all both really love each other and y'all both really care about each other and there's a lot of trust there and a lot of commitment, then yeah, I mean, I think when you find someone that's really worth it. So I think it just depends on your situation. Like, if you love this person and y'all are great together and there's trust and everything and you're willing to do it, because it's also not easy at all. Like, I see Luke and Annika do it. It's not easy at all. Like, there's a lot of trust has to be there. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of commitment, a lot of communication. There's a lot of stuff. It's way harder than a normal relationship, because in a normal relationship, you just see the person. You can have the conversation right there, and then you see them all the time. There's not really like a question of what they're doing. You see them all the time. So it's less of like a stress than it is long distance. But I think it's just same thing with Casey and Thomas. Like, they have a lot of communication, a lot of trust, a lot of stuff like that. I think it's just, if you have that person that you really care about and you really love them and you really want to be in their lives, then yeah, man, I mean, I would go for it. But I think that's definitely a thing where you have to know what you're getting into. You have to have a real long conversation with yourself, even be like, am I willing to do this? Because you can want to do it, but are you willing to do it? A lot of people want to do things. Andrew Huberman here. A lot of people want to do things, but they're not willing to like put in the effort, put in the work. Everyone wants abs. Everyone wants to go to the gym, but they're not willing to do it because of X, Y, and Z. So if you're really willing to do it and you really care about this person, you see a future, dude, go ahead. I 100% agree with it. Pebbles is chilling right here under. He's in the sun. Okay. He said, jokingly, how do I feel to go to college with Jack Schuster and starting JV quarterback Luke Lundquist? That's funny. I see Jack all the time, actually. Not all the time. I used to see him a lot more, but I had a class with him. I see him at Jason's. Stand up dude. Just a real beast, if you will. Luke Lundquist is still the starting JV quarterback. The thing about Luke, I think, is so funny, is like, I don't know how to describe this. Like, in high school, whenever we were playing football, Luke is like I cannot they're not the same person, but like in a good way. It's like Luke is just so I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Like I think if you know Luke, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like Luke is just not a real person, but in a good way. Not in like a bad way. Like Luke's not real, but like in a good way. Great guy. Great guy. Shout out Jake as well. Yeah, so those are all the questions from Carl. You know, we're gonna do a little first on the podcast. We're gonna call a guest. We're gonna call Michael real quick and see if he picks up. If he doesn't pick up, then this is gonna be a massive fail. But I have a feeling he may pick up. He may be loose. Oh. Michael, I'm recording a podcast right now. I need a question. Do you have any?
Top 5 things to bring to the Diddy party other than your butt. Go.
Okay, top 5 things to bring to Diddy. Okay, do you want me to answer it right now or you want me to just watch it? You want to watch it?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Word is bond.
Word is bond. Okay, you said top 5 things to bring to a Diddy party? It depends on what you want from the Diddy party. Like if you're going to the Diddy party and you're expecting the nonsense, then I'll give 2 lists. Expecting the nonsense, bring some handcuffs, bring some lube, bring some gloves, bring a tourniquet maybe, and then probably bring some clippers because you know what Diddy wants. You don't know what Diddy likes. If you're not expecting what you're expecting at the Diddy party, you don't want to be there, bring like some sort of weapon, bring some sort of like do not shower beforehand if you don't want what to happen because then like the deter maybe I don't know Diddy may like that I don't know just bring some sort of deterrent that you don't want to go to the Diddy party. You know what I mean? Like if you want to go, then do the first 5. But if you don't want to go, bring like a weapon. Don't shower. Don't shave. Like just don't do anything that would be appealing to Diddy, and you should be good. Let me call another person. I call up Ryan. Now the chances Ryan pick up are slim to none. Oh. Hello. Okay, I'm recording a podcast right now. I need a question.
Okay, you need a question.
Yeah, a question.
Hold on. Give me a second.
Last question was from Michael, and he said top 5 things to bring to a Diddy party.
Right. Can I think for a second?
Yeah, you can call me. You can call me back.
Well, I don't know if it'll take that long.
Okay.
Let me just.
We have Chael Sonnen on the phone. Snapple cap.
Okay. What was the lowest point in your life, and how did you overcome it?
That's a bar. Word is bond. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
All right, I'll catch you on the flip. Word is bond. All right. He said, "What was the lowest point in my life, and how did I get out of it?" Okay. I think everything is relative, and I don't think my lowest point is like anywhere near other people's lowest points. So don't take this as me like I don't think I've ever had like a rock bottom. I think I've been not even close, but like I think in my life I've had some like really low moments. I think one of the lowest moments was probably whenever all my friends that I was friends with in high school went to college and I took a gap year. Now, in retrospect, I'm like I don't regret it. I think there's a part of me that does because I missed a lot of memories that I would have built if I went to college. But I think it was good for me because I just wasn't ready for it. And I think it was nice to have that year. And I worked at the gym and I met a lot of people, had a lot of good memories like with Ryan and Michael, all the people in Austin. But I think the lowest point was just getting to a point where I realized that like I was doing nothing. Like I had no future plans. I was just sitting there doing nothing. And that's probably the lowest point I think was right before my summer of would have been my sophomore year of college. I was really down. I really didn't have much. I just had the gym and that's it. My work wasn't like hard. I just kind of went. And I think that was probably my lowest moment, was just not really having like a direction. And I think a lot of people feel like that, where you just don't have a direction. And how I got out of it was I think I just started slowly doing things that a person with a direction would do. Like I still didn't have a direction, but I was like, okay, if I had a purpose, what would I do? Okay, I would like get my health in order. I would like practice good habits. Like I would go to bed on time, stuff like that. Like I acted like I had a purpose. And in turn, that kind of made me figure it out, which is like I wanted to go to college. I never wanted to go to college before I didn't go. So I never really thought of college as an option. But once I kind of realized I had nothing and I kind of was just going to do nothing with my life unless I figured it out, it kind of opened itself up. And I think a big turning point was it was me, Jason, Thomas, and Ryan and Casey. We all went We went to float the river in San Marcos. And this was the summer of their freshman year. So they had already been at Tech. And they were just telling me all these stories and all this stuff about Tech and all this stuff. And I had nothing. Like, I had no stories. I had no fun memories. And I was like, man, I'm 20. I was like, what, 20 maybe? I was like 19. I'm just sitting here doing nothing. Like, I have no like hobby, nothing. I need to figure it out. It kind of put me like in a little bit of depression, in like a sense of like all of my friends are doing stuff that I'm not. But the way I got out of it was just finding a goal and doing anything I needed to do to get to that goal. It was summer school or online school for a semester, sticking it out, doing shitty stuff, just stuff that like you don't want to do that you know will help you towards a goal. So I think the way to get out of like a rut is pick a goal and work towards that goal, even if it's not a huge goal. My goal was kind of huge, which was going to college. But like, even if it's like, I want to go to the gym more, pick days that you need to go to the gym and just have that be your goal. Every day is a new goal. Every day is like a way to win in your own mind. So I think that's the way to get out of a rut, is just having like a mini goal. It could be a mini goal. It could be a huge goal. Either one is just, you can go from there. And I'll call Vinny up. Vinny is Ian. And then we'll see what Ian says. And then we'll call Jason up. And then we'll call Luke. Oh,
Hello.
Vinny, I'm recording a podcast. I need a question. You got anything in mind?
Are you live?
I'm live right now. So far, we've got top 5 things to bring to a Diddy party, and then the lowest moment of my life.
Let's do the opposite of that. Do the highest moment.
Okay, Ian. Thank you, sir. Word is born. All right. Ian said the highest moment of my life. Highest moment. See, when I hear that, I'm trying to think of like this extravagant like time in my life where I was just so happy and so fulfilled and all that kind of stuff. I would probably say right now is probably the happiest I've been in my life. Like relative. Like I think I'm doing a lot of stuff I'm enjoying. I have an internship. I have a great girlfriend. I have great friends. I have great habits in place. I'm in a good spot right now. So I wouldn't say like right now is the happiest all time. I've had happy moments, but I think consistent happiness, I think right now, probably the happiest I've been in a while, but not like I've been depressed, but like I think there's waves. Like it goes in waves. I think happiest I've been is probably right now. Probably COVID was surprisingly pretty fun. That was pretty happy when I was streaming a lot. When I was streaming a lot when I first started going to the gym, that was pretty fun. And then probably last summer was pretty fun too. Yeah, those are probably my high moments. Just like I think times when I'm around a lot of friends and I have a lot of like hope and a lot of stuff to look forward to is probably when I'm my happiest. Is just I was really stroking that thing like Diddy. But yeah, I think just right now is pretty good for me, man. And then I think last summer was pretty fun. And then when COVID was going on, I was pretty good too. I think just when I have a lot of people around me is usually when I'm at my best. Okay, we will call up Jason now, and we'll ask him. We're going to go Jason, Jake, and then Luke. And then I don't even know how long I've been going. I think we'll probably call it there. Maybe I'll have a little yap sesh about whatever I'm feeling. If Jason doesn't pick up, that'd be funny. I don't think he's going to pick up. I wonder what he's doing.
Your call has been...
Okay. Jason didn't pick up the phone. Let's call Luke. I just called him like 3 seconds ago, so that's going to be funny. He thinks I'm going to be talking about Ronnie. Shout out our neighbor Ronnie, who's cutting vines. Like King Buck. Maybe I got no emotion. Do I have no aura?
Yo,
Luke, what you doing?
I'm sitting here on my Xbox. What are you doing?
Okay, we're live right now on the podcast. I need a question for you, from your son.
Yeah, just any question?
You can even do a Mount Rushmore. We haven't done one of those yet. Just anything you're feeling.
Anything. Well, who is it?
Myself and I.
You, yourself, and you.
And Pebbles.
Okay. And Pebbles. Mount Rushmore of. Oh shoot! Like, what's something that's like just you? Okay, actually, I'll ask you how your job is. You can talk about that. And then, what have you been talking about on the podcast?
Oh man, There's been so many. We've been jumping back and forth from subjects.
Okay, give me just a random.
We were talking about
snippet.
we were talking about dating in college, the Timberwolves, and then we were talking about Bill Russell and Michael Jordan.
Okay, give me your Mount Rushmore of playoff runs in the NBA, or it could be in any sport actually if you want, but just best playoff runs.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
There you go. Can't wait.
All right.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you. Bye bye. All right. That was Luke Lundquist there. But okay. So we first have my job. So I have an internship at a like supplement store here in Lubbock, Texas. Shout out PS Nutrition. It's going pretty well. I mean, I haven't really fully started yet. Like I start next week, but it seems pretty good. It seems like I am enjoying it. I like supplements. I like the gym. Obviously, I talk about it all the goddamn time. So I'm having a good time with it. So I'm excited for it. You know, I'm taking this off. I'm not. Never mind. But yeah, I'm having a good time with it. I'm excited for it. So yeah, I'll answer that question more later when I actually get into it. He said my Mount Rushmore of playoff moments or playoff runs. See, when I hear playoff runs, I can't really think of like specific runs that I enjoyed watching. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a try. Number 1, LeBron James 2016 comeback. My glorious Pookie Bear King, greatest of all time. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything you've done, King. Ooh, I'll just rank LeBron playoff runs. How about that? Top 4. LeBron 2016 number 1. No question, no debating. We don't even have to go into it. Number 2, I think, for me, enjoyable to watch, even though they lost, was probably 2018 Cavs. Just the fact that team was so bad and like they were the... We'll get back to this in a second. Oh, I can't answer it. Hello.
Hello.
I'm recording the podcast. I need a question.
All right. Like right now?
Yes, in this moment. People aren't really on the spot with these questions, are they?
You could do Mount Rushmore of like your favorite restaurant chains, or have you already done that?
I'll do best hungover foods.
That's a pretty good one. Or you could do like what was your favorite high school memory, or like favorite middle school memory.
Okay.
Favorite the best trip you've ever been on.
I like this. Okay. Thank you, Jason. I'll put some of those in there.
Sounds good.
All right. See you.
All right, bye.
Bye. Okay, so let me finish Luke's, and then I'll get into Jason. So I said 2018 just because this team was so bad. His team was ass. He had no help, and he still made it to the finals. When they were like the 4 seed, they were not supposed to be good that year at all. That's probably up there. Probably the run again in 07, I think, whenever they lost to the Spurs. Again, same thing. Young LeBron, no help. Everyone was like, damn, this dude has no help. Before they hated him. And then I think lastly has to be like the Lakers run. Probably the Lakers run because it was in the bubble. You know, everyone was in COVID. Everyone was watching the King. Great times. Greatest of all time, LeBron. Okay, so they said Mount Rushmore of foods. I'm going to go hungover foods because that seems pretty fun. Mount Rushmore, let's go hungover morning. I got to put myself in the mindset of what I'm going to be on the 4th. What will I want on the 4th of July whenever I think underrated pick. It's not even like a restaurant. It's just like a food that you could have in your house. Why I think it's an underrated pick. Bagel with cream cheese. Blueberry bagel with cream cheese. I've never had it hungover, so I don't know why I'm throwing this on there, but I can just imagine that in the morning with like a nice water would probably just perk me right up. I don't know what it is, but that just sounds like a good comfort food, I guess. So that's like if I'm like really hungover and I like don't want to eat a lot of food, I just need something to get my gullet going. If I want to eat a lot of food, I think pancakes are up there. Can't really go wrong with a pancake. Like a big pancake with like syrup, eggs, bacon, just your gym's classic breakfast. I don't know. I don't know what else. Those are like my main 2 that I go with. I mean, I guess you could throw in like Golden Chick maybe. Maybe like a good Golden Chick would probably hit pretty well, I guess. I'm not really sure if that would hit. I could be wrong. And then I think finally is just some cereal. Some cereal is pretty good. I could go way more in depth drunk food, but that's for another topic with more people that indulge. Another question he said was my favorite high school moment. Man, there's just so many. Probably my favorite. Like I'm thinking of like in the school, but I guess we can branch out and go out of school. Man, there was one time whenever we went to. No, I can't say that on the podcast. Probably just like going up to the rooftop. Like there was one time I remember vividly. It was like me, Roman, Jeffrey, Ralph, Jason, and like Max, and we all went up to the rooftop and we just played some like King of the Court during COVID. I don't know why, that was just fun. Just like chilling with the fellas. Probably like some football memories I talked about with Luke last time. Shaking the Bus was probably up there. And then just like probably going to see. No, I take it back. I know what it is. 100%. Vivid memory, core memory. Thunderstorming like a bitch. I go to Jason's house. We play 2K14 for like 5 minutes for some reason. I don't know why. We go see Spider-Man for like the 800th time. We come back and we play 2K, but I have my Nikola Jokic before he was good, and he's like a diamond Nikola Jokic, and I sold everyone on my team, and me and Ryan were trying so hard to figure out how to beat this motherfucker who had Hito Turkoglu. I think we played 2K for 6 hours, and I couldn't do it, and Jason broke his wall. Definitely a vivid memory. Probably one of those like a swimming night. Definitely up there. Middle school memory. I couldn't tell you a single thing that happened in middle school. I think I'd like I couldn't tell you anything that happened in middle school. Elementary school, I have nothing either. So yeah, thank you, Jesse, for the questions, but I couldn't think of any middle school ones. Maybe if you asking me like if I sat here for a while, but we don't got time. Let's call Jake. This is gonna be my last question. Then I'm gonna end it off with a Mount Rushmore of something random. I'll probably think of something. I really don't think Jake's gonna pick up. If one person is gonna pick up, it's gonna be Jake. Because Jake is the busiest person I've called. No offense to everybody else. And I think he's in, like, Utah.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
That's the one time I was expecting that one. Okay, let's round this thing out here with the best. Let's do a little Mount Rushmore. Let's do, just because I'm feeling like in a fitness kind of way. I don't fitness. Let's go my top 4 exercises for like enjoyment, not like muscle gain, not like anything, just that I enjoy doing, like that I have fun doing. I think whenever they're good, hamstring curls are one of, like, they get me right. Like that's a workout like where I feel it every time I do it. Some exercises like with bench or like something else, like something like the shoulder press even, I don't feel it. I'm like, I'm doing it and I know it's working, but I don't feel it. With hamstring curls, I always feel it every time. Always feel the hamstring curls every time. Second one, I'll do each part of the muscle. I'll do hamstrings, quads, chest, shoulders, back, because bicep and triceps are kind of not really real. Quads, definitely a good leg extension set. Nothing. I think hamstring curls, leg extensions, boom. I'm not a big squat guy. Personally, hurts my back all the time, so I don't really like doing squats. I have to do them for obvious reasons, but like, I don't enjoy them. A good leg extension with like a good pad where you just feel it in like the upper part of your quad and you're just going at it. A nice drop set, dude. Nothing's better than that on leg day. It's just, I think that's up there. Little leg extension. What did I say next? Chest. I think I don't have one of these in my gym, but when I go to Lifetime, definitely the pec fly. It's just, I feel it the most out of any chest exercise. I know it's hitting where I want it to hit. It's doing what it's supposed to do. I feel it. Good A+ exercise. I wish they had one of those in my gym. Shoulder, I guess. Shoulder, I figured this out today. Cable lat raises, 15 sets, lightweight. I don't know what it is. I think it's because you can get a deeper stretch down here. But whenever you go up here and it just really burns you way more than the bicep and then the dumbbell, because you kind of have to swing the dumbbell up. If you're like really going for it, you kind of can't. But with the cable, you can't do that. You really have to just get it up there. I don't know if that made any sense. And then for back, I'll do 2. Michael showed me this one where it's for your real delt. You go up here and you go 40 degrees down here. Man, that shit fucks you up. You feel it in your tricep too, but you just feel it right here and you go here, or you go here and you go here, all in the rear delt. Rear delt's on fire. Really good rear delt exercise I've been going to. And then for just all of my back, just in general, man, like the V grip row, underrated as fuck. Keep the chest up, lean in with it, row. Beautiful exercise. hot take, another exercise, not even for anything. Low back extensions. Over here, go down and up. Great exercise for your back health. I figured this out recently because my back sucks. It's a great way just like to tense it up. So then whenever you like stretch it out, it really releases. Pause. And yeah, just a great exercise. If you have one of those in your gym, please give it a go. Okay, fellas, last thing. If you're in Lubbock and you want to be on the podcast, which I don't know anybody that's in Lubbock that watches this besides like Corey, Ella. That's about it, I think, that I know that watches consistently. But if you want to be on the podcast and you're not in Lubbock, shoot me a text. We'll get you on. Anybody is welcome. Anybody that wants to have a conversation about anything you want. If you have ideas, questions, whatever, just let me know. We can get on a Zoom or something. And fellas, if you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment, leave who you'd like to see in the comments. And yeah, thank y'all for watching. Sigma out.